Sorry, I just finished washing my face. Hold on, give me 1 second. Okay. Peace, 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 y'all. Peace. I hope everyone is having a great day. As I told y'all, I'm coming with a video, and I just wanted to talk about vaginal health. I think it is extremely important to take care of your cookie, right? I remember seeing a video where this guy was talking about how women can't just be having sex with multiple partners like dudes do. And I think that's more of a ego-driven thing, because it's like, you know, as males, it's like you're supposed to go out and hunt and conquer and have sex with a whole bunch of females and do all this crazy stuff, right? And the reality is anyone wrong or right with that? In my opinion, as a woman, in my opinion, now I think everyone's different, men cannot go, men can go dip and dab in other women's vaginas, raw meat if they want to. Is it suggested? I would say no. I think when it comes to a woman, everyone's vaginal fauna is different, and you can pass things on that are not always STDs, right? I don't know if you saw the video where the guy was talking about, like, you know, yeah, you can't have a lot of sex as a woman, but then they were showing like the cucumber, and they was just dipping it in different stuff. And of course, the penis is skin, right? It still catches things, right? And of course, the women's environment is more moist, and which I can understand, because it is a moist environment, that things hold more in the moisture. But what you gotta understand is, if a man is dipping into that moisture, it affects the skin. If a woman has, say, BV or yeast, right? We're internal, so we hold that yeast or we hold that BV, and when the guys dip into it, they can also hold it on the skin. Depending on how bad that yeast infection is, it can spread from partner to partner, and it's real out here. That's why I say vaginal pH is extremely important, and keeping your vaginal fauna in a certain, taking care of your vaginal fauna is extremely important. There are many ways to think about that, but when I look at it from a standpoint that has kept me pH balanced, and never in my life have I ever had BV, and not saying to the people that I'm not poking at people who do have had BV. I'm not saying it in that way. I'm just saying that I have not personally had BV. I've had a yeast infection before, yes. And I don't get them like that now, because I think the yeast, and the reason why it's not considered an STI or an STD is because, yes, you can transmit it sexually, but it's not the sex that really causes it. It's really, to me, the diet. You are what you eat, right? So if you eat a bunch of pastries, bread, sugar, carby foods, potatoes, a bunch of like starchy, sweet confectionaries and things like that, you are what you eat. If you eat Pillsbury's, you're gonna have a Pillsbury coochie. Like, you're just gonna have sugar puss if you keep eating a bunch of sugar. So nature's fruit is the best sugar. Like, you know, having pineapple juice or, you know, different types of fruit juices, to me, is the definition of sugar. Eating those fruits and things which are sweet, which is nature's candy, is sweet, that will help cleanse the vaginal fauna. I understand that every fruit is going to have its purpose. Like, when you think of berries are more oxidative, are going to add oxygen to the body. It's oxidative. They're going to add more oxygen to the body. Watermelon is a replenisher, so it's going to add more moisture to the body, like cucumbers do. They're heavy in water content. Then you have things like the citrus family fruits, which are going to astringent cleanse the body. So cranberry being one of those astringent fruits is one of the ones that if you want to keep your urinary tract clean and your vaginal fauna good, you're going to consume those cranberries. You're going to consume more citric fruits, grapefruits, pineapple, oranges, tangerines. There's a lot of citric fruits out there that are going to cleanse. Grapes are really good for flushing out the body. If you do a nice grape cleanse for 2 or 3 days, you'll see a major difference in your body overall. I think that is a great idea. You just want to start to eat those citric fruits to cleanse the vaginal fauna. Now, internally, each to each his own. But what I will say is, I believe in the power of using herbal yoni pearls. Everybody don't agree to those, but I do use herbal yoni pearls, and I also use the oily ones. They're like little capsules that oil cleanse the vagina. A good steam schedule with disinfectant herbs if need be, or cooling herbs, or whatever herbs that are going to help the pH balance of your vagina is extremely important. And your partner, my nose is itching because I just washed my face. Your partner is very important in this too. If he's going around raw dogging and sticking his dick in baked pussy, and it's real baked, it's overbaked, it's easy baked, meaning like she got a bad case of yeast and ain't really caring and ain't taking care of her body to know that she got it, and he dipping up in there, and then he goes to the next woman whose pH is good, he can mess up her pH, right? Because if he has the yeast on his skin, that's a skin contact type thing, and you can pass those things on. BV is the same. These are parasitic. They're bacterial. They're different things. So don't think that these things don't lay on a man's skin. Now, not as much because they're external, right? But it can pass. And when you're getting like recurrent yeast infections and BV, you may want to look at different channels. Like number 1 is your partner, raw dogging other people who got it. Or number 2, look at your diet and look at the things that maybe you're consuming and find a way to cleanse the body of those things. You and your partners should always partner, and everybody different. You and your partner should be getting tested on a regular basis, right? I find it to be insane that people don't like to go get STD panels. Like, that to me, it makes no sense, right? Report cards are nice to see your grades, right? So why wouldn't you give your coochie or your wand a report card, right? It is a beautiful place of safety to know that you are healthy and that your partner is healthy. So yeah. That is a wellness piece, y'all. There are so many things you can look into holistically to make sure that your vaginal fauna is good. Another thing that I also like to do, and I don't do a lot, is, if you don't know, your vagina is made up of a little bit of peroxide naturally internally. That's why sometimes you get that little bleach stain or that light stain on your dark drawers, so, which is a good thing. It means your body is oxygenated. But you can use 3% food grade peroxide, and you can douche with that full on, or you can do a half and half, which will give you a 1.5% instead of a 3%, and cleanse the vaginal fauna as well, and give it the oxygen from the food grade hydrogen peroxide. You can also do yogurt. Now, yogurt needs to be a clean yogurt. I always recommend coconut Colt unflavored, because it works really well for me. It's very cooling. It's really good, especially after a cooling yoni steam. The next day doing one of those is really nice. But it's important to, just like you maintain your hair and everything, your nails or whatever, you should maintain your vagina. I think it's extremely important, and we should love all parts of our body, and we should take good care of ourselves, especially her down there, because she is very sensitive to things, and I think a lot of times females be knowing when their partner might be doing something stupid. So I don't know. I think I'd love to say, like, make sure your partner is trustworthy. Make sure that you can have these conversations and not feel awkward about it because somebody doesn't want to tell you what they're doing. Like, you want to be intimate with somebody where you feel safe. And if you are a safe place for somebody, meaning you're doing the right things, you're taking care of yourself, you get tested every year, and you're dating somebody, they need to respect you in that. And that meaning keep yourself safe sexually and protect your partner. Again, like I said, diet, herbally speaking, some really good herbs for your vagina, in my opinion, is red raspberry and red clover, shatavari, slippery elm, she's sexy, slippery elm, burdock roots or sarsaparilla, yellow dock, sensitiva is a really good one. Like I said, circulation is extremely important. So you want to take those herbs to help with circulation, to keep your girl alive and beating, right? Yoni steams are more the cooling herbs, like the slippery elms. Neem is also a cooling herb, so neem is good. I'm trying to think of some other ones off the top of my head. Yeah, ashwagandha is a great herb. And baby, let me tell you something about your coochie care, right? Don't just be using anything down there when it's your time of month too. Use the tampons if you're gonna use them that have cotton and cotton cords, not polyethylene, all these weird, crazy ropes that go down and you're rubbing up against it, and all these forever chemicals is just going into your walls. We've already seen the videos about, always those different pads brands that you put them to the light and there's like mold in them. Some of my favorite brands, and a lot of people are not in love with them, but let me see if I can grab it because I got one over here. Currently cycling, so yeah. Couple of my favorite brands. This is my new favorite, y'all, so it is what it is. It would be this Honey Pot Calming. Usually when you go in the store, you're gonna always find Cooling, which is the green, and I'll touch bases on that. But I like the Calming because it's such a beautiful blend of herbs inside of the pad itself. This one has lavender, lemon balm, and ashwagandha, which are cooling herbs. These are some of the ones that, when I'm yoni steaming, ashwagandha is one of the cooling herbs that I use in yoni steams. Lemon balm is a little bit more universal, like ashwagandha, but lemon balm is more, to me, antibacterial. And of course, lavender is the same, but lavender is more fragrant than anything, and calming, of course. But the lemon balm and the ashwagandha with the lavender is great. So Honey Pot is one of my brands. Everybody don't agree with Honey Pot. I love it. Been using it since they were called Lamo. When I was in Atlanta, the brand was called Lamo. I don't know if it's the same company, but I remember purchasing the Lamo pads from Seven Nanda, and it was an herbal pad back then, a long time ago, like maybe 2015-ish. So I've been using these herbal pads for a while. And for a very long time, I have not been using the commercial brands that everybody uses with the organic chlorine in there. What I discovered with that is it swells your vagina up. It adds more inflammation to the vagina. And I just don't think they're healthy personally, to each his own again. But this is the cooling one that's always everywhere. But the calming ones you can get I get them from Target now. These are the long liners. I usually use those on my first day of my menstrual cycle when I'm going to sleep. And, it's a little bit lighter. There's the wings ones and there's the overnight ones of the wings. This is a regular panty liner one here. And again, this one is mint, aloe vera, and lavender. And surprisingly, I mean, aloe vera is still a cooling herb, so... Oh, wait. This is a cool... duh. This is the cooling one. This is the calming one. Duh. So yeah, no, these... I was about to say... I'm looking, I'm like, oh, these are all cooling herbs. Like, what in the world? So yeah, in my Yanni steam practice, I would definitely use aloe vera as a cooling herb. Mint would be more of a aromatic like the lavender, but lavender can be a bit drying. So yeah, in Yanni steaming, you'd be a little bit more different with that. But this is the cooling ones. And when it comes to pads, sorry, when it comes to tampons, the brand I use for tampons is Cora. I like Cora because it's an organic tampon and the string is made from paraffin, okay? Which is water repellent wax. It's a water repellent wax string. And it is a BPA free plastic applicator. It's not made with pesticides, dioxins, and fragrances or chlorine. So this is my brand of choice. But yeah, I've been on this journey of just good vaginal health for a while, and pussy is like water. You know what I'm saying? That's how I would compare it. You have your tap water, which has all types of pesticides and chemicals and stuff. Then you got your filtered water, which is like your Aquafina. This shit is filtered, but then it's also loaded with salt, which dries you out, so you want more water because you're drinking salt water. Or you have filtered water, which is basically tap water filtered through a process. Cool. Then you have artesian water, right? You know, you have those Saratogas, those really nice artisanal Fiji waters, those things that just, when you drink it, you can feel it going through your pores. That's the pussy you want, right? Tap water, cool. I mean, if you want tap water pussy, these are tap water pussies, the ones that don't really care about their shit. They just, I got that wet, whatever. But y'all not taking care of your internal as much as your external. And nobody out here using regular soap down there. Like, no. Artesian coochie don't use regular soap. We use Goddess Body. We use soaps that are herbal, like Nini Femme Health, or there's some really great brands out there that you clean your vagina with. They're pH balanced. Yeah. Tap water pussy gonna use, they leave it 3000. You know what I'm saying? Filtered water might use Dove, you know, but it's all about really loving on yourself, eating the internal foods that your vagina loves, cleansing her properly. It just is an overall wellness thing. When you eat the right things, you consume the right things, and you don't have to be vegan. Nobody is stressing that too much. But I do suggest more being on a whole foods diet that is balanced and makes sense. Your vagina will thank you. And beautiful men out there, start taking care of your internals too. No Black and Miles and 40 ounces, right? We need more fruits in your diet too, handsome men. And we need y'all to stop dipping in tap water and bringing it back to artesian water. So, that's all I gotta say to that. Take care of yourself and your body will thank you. Not to say that, you know, people who have BV and yeast infections are dirty. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that anybody who's having like yeast and BV needs to really check their diet and what they're using on their skin, and how you're doing with your mental health and life and cortisol and all these different things. Like, how are you taking care of you? Are you drinking enough water? Are you eating your fruits and vegetables? Like how are you doing? Yeah, I think that's extremely important. And fellas, what y'all scrubbing down there with? What y'all manscaping with? What's your diet looking like? Are you full of liquor and bill? Are you full of black and wilds? Are you full of Cheetos? Like what we doing? Are you also on a whole foods diet? So you are what you eat. And you are what you put on your skin. Your skin is your biggest organ. So when it comes to cleansing your skin, are you using natural soaps, right? Under your armpits, are you using deodorant that works but is more natural? Like overall, just take care of yourself. I know this is a long message. I had to get it out. I felt the need to do so. All pussy ain't created the same, brothers. It's not. And that is my message. All right, y'all have a good one. Bye.